I was born in Ethiopia, but I grew up in a middle-class family in Sweden. We didn't have a bundle of stuff, but the things that we had were of quality. I remember when I got my first knife from my sisters, and it was like this gorgeous knife that I felt like my dreams of being a chef, I could see it through the weight of this knife. One of the reasons why Sag Harbor was so appealing to us is because it felt like my days in Sweden, like what I remember from the fishing village I grew up with, whether it was how they made the boats or how they prepared everything to fish lobster or crab. So it's a lot about care and thoughtfulness. Craftsmanship for me is one of the reasons why I love cooking. I'm Marcus Samuelsson, and welcome to My Market, an intimate look at professional chefs' home lives and kitchens. We got beautiful snapper here, and then we're just gonna wrap the nori. Yeah, there you go.
I love nori. It gives such a ocean taste to any dish.
I will always remember 2022 is when I'm opening my new restaurant in Chelsea in New York. We're putting some olive oil and then put the potatoes going. And we want to build a new experience. It's almost like you take in everything that has happened post-pandemic, opening Rooster, but also creating a restaurant where it's also a healthy environment to work in. So much in my industry, we worked so hard, but we failed sometimes in creating healthy environments for our teams. Build an inclusive space that works for guests, staff, and creativity. You know, what I love about this weekend is really the trying out stuff. This is the step before we open the restaurant. This is a deeply personal experience. You know, I am Swedish living in Harlem. So our new restaurant will have dishes that has Swedish curing techniques, Ethiopian spices, methods from where I trained in France and Japan and Switzerland. I wanted to bring it back to my upbringing, ocean, grown up on an island, but also try new stuff. Great, perfect. So our fish is down, and then we're gonna cook this in the oven.
Wow.
We're gonna let the oven do the magic.
Okay.
As a chef, you completely have to trust your stove. You can't cook precise if you don't have a great relationship with heat. Something needs to be super crispy, you need high heat. Something you need to braise for hours overnight, you need low heat. I look at the oven and everything around in the kitchen as key instruments because of the quality of the range, right? I can really cook it the way we cook it in the restaurant. I could actually in real time cook the dish together with my team, and we can actually trade notes. When you cook like this too, you need less salt because the salt is coming naturally from the seafood.
Mm-hmm. Oh my God, oh my God.
Yes, yes, yes.
That's the beach.
Yeah, that's the beach, right? When I walk the beach here, seeing the seaweed, seeing the ocean, it reminds me a lot of where I grew up. Cooking was something that was always in my life because of my grandmother. We always had 2 dinners. We ate with mom and dad, not that good. I took the biked over to grandma's house, and then walking straight in to my grandma Helga, always in the kitchen. I never had to call, I knew exactly where she was. Picking apples, pickling herring, or making bread, meatballs to be rolled. When you came to her house, you were working, but it was also fun. End of that day, you would eat so good. And as you become older and you want your own money and teenager, all my summer jobs were always around food because I grew up in a fishing village. We either fished, sold the fish, pickled the fish, smoked the fish, and then eventually start cooking it. In Sweden, we have a lot of flatbreads. They're really based on potato in the hearth oven. We can make Napolitano-style pizza, Detroit-style pizza, or New York-style pizza, but they require a top heat that is very different. So to be able to do that in your home, it's unbelievable. So this is done. We're ready. We're gonna put just sprinkle some raw mushrooms in there.
Okay.
And then rip a piece of nori in there as well.
Okay. I love the potatoes in there too.
Mm-hmm. I love the nose on it, the smell. Yeah, just do a little broth, a little more vegetable, put some carrots in there. Once I'm done with the dish, I ask a lot of questions. You're never there. I think part of the creative process is that you appreciate where you come, but you can always do better. I do think that adding in a broccoli or a peas would help. My new restaurant has to be delicious, but also exciting, and ask questions.
Would you do edamame, or is that not the lane?
There's so many components, from creativity to financial responsibility to the aesthetic. End of the day, once those decisions are made, it's really about deep respect for the craftsmanship of cooking.